And we are live. So, hello everyone from everywhere in the world. My name is Fernando Gama, Regional Manager for the Americas and the Caribbean at Niagara College, Canada. And I'd like to welcome you today to the Niagara College New Student Information Session. So, today is the 24th of July, 2020, and we are here gathered to give you more information. I know that you're eager to come and join Niagara College, and we're here today to help you to achieve your goals. Okay, so before we start, I know that you're there, you're anxious to get information, but we do have a few housekeeping rules. So please pay attention. Okay, so we already have people joining us, we already have people raising their hands. Calm down, we're gonna get there, guys. So housekeeping rules first. If you have any questions to us, remember that we have a team of panelists here. We have a regional management team, a services team, our academic area. So everyone is here to help you today. But in order to do that, you need to send and to submit your questions through the Q&A button. So you see below, there's a Q&A button. You click there, you submit your question over there. So do not use the chat for questions, okay? Our panelists will be reminding you that questions should not be sent in the chat, should be sent in the Q&A. So once you send it over there, if it's reasonable to answer your question during our presentation, we will do that. But at the end of the presentation today, we'll have a time that's saved for the Q&A session, okay? So all of us will try to answer them as many questions as we can for you today, okay? And before we move on, I do have some more information for you. So just remembering that if you guys, welcome to everyone joining from around the world. So it's a good morning here in Canada, but I don't know where you are. It might be a good afternoon or good evening, but welcome to our information session. Our teams of dedicated service specialists and academic faculty are excited to welcome you, whether you're here in Canada or virtually in our online courses. And today's session will provide you with information that will help you to prepare starting your NC journey. So during the session today, we'll provide overall key Niagara College updates. We'll provide latest information regarding immigration and study permits. We'll provide details on the 14-day quarantine for those arriving to Canada and other housing information. This is very important, so pay attention to that. Information on all things Niagara College is offering to engage and support our student, and we'll have an amazing spotlight on one of our academic areas. And today we're going to talk about the School of Business. And I can say that I'm a proud Niagara College alumni from the School of Business, and this is very close to my heart. Okay, so first, we're going to talk about some key Niagara College updates. As most of you should know right now, Niagara College is offering a blend of online and on-campus learning opportunities for September 2020. And what does that mean? It means that some programs are able to be delivered entirely online for the fall semester, while others will have a blend of both online and on-campus learning when special equipment and laboratories are required. So if you're unsure if your program is fully online or if it's a hybrid program, and if you want to know more details about it, you can go to www.niagaracollege.ca/COVID updates, or just niagaracollege.ca, and over there you'll see a red tab in the top where you can click for term updates and planning. And over there you get a full list of the programs that are offered this fall, and you'll see which programs are offered fully online or which programs will have some blend of online and on-campus classes, okay? And we also understand that the COVID-19 situation may be impacting plans to travel to Canada, but we want to remind you that you can still begin your Niagara College journey in September by studying online. Pay attention to this. This is also very important. So all students who are planning to join us in September for post-secondary studies are strongly recommended to have already applied for and received confirmation of a study permit approved prior to starting your classes. So while IRCC, which is Immigration Canada, has made some accommodations due to COVID-19, it is important that you keep yourself up to date on what these regulations are. You can find more information by visiting the immigration website at www.cic.gc.ca. And remember that today we'll also have an immigration session, right, with one of our international student advisors. who are immigration certified, and they'll be able to give you more updated information about it as well, okay? So we have many program options for September, but it's important that you confirm your enrollment as soon as possible. We don't want you to miss out. So if you have any questions about payment, if you have any difficulties about submitting your academic documents, maybe your high school or university in your home country is closed, and you're having issues getting the documentation required to start your studies, don't worry, but please talk to us. Don't leave it to the last minute, okay? Our team is here to support you with that. And please remember that to confirm your spot, you do need to make a full payment for your program by the due date indicated in your invoice. So the only way that you confirm your seat at Agri College is by making a full payment as indicated in your invoice. Okay. So to close this session with the regular updates, so please check Niagara College website and www.niagaracollege.ca frequently so you can find the most updated information. And also do not forget to visit our international website at international.niagaracollege.ca for more information specific to international students. Whew, that was a lot of information, eh? But we're ready to roll now. Okay, so guys, now that the housekeeping rules are done, now that the general information is done, I have the pleasure to invite a few of my friends to talk today to you guys, to talk about a specific area. So just reminding you today, before we start, we'll have updates regarding to like housing updates. We'll have updates regarding our events and engagement. So everything that's going on, our orientation. We'll also have the academic spotlight, where our academic areas are going to talk about the School of Business and their programs. And we also have the ISA updates, so the immigration part. So questions about study permits, about can I fly to Canada, and all these questions that you have that are very important, they'll be able to help you by the end of this presentation, okay? So get ready, put your seatbelts on, and let's go. So the first one to talk today, I'm going to invite my very good friend, Mr. Karan Salgrota. He's the housing coordinator at the DJP, the Daniel J. Patterson campus at Niagara College, a very good friend of mine, former student assistant, and now we're here rocking and seeing international. So Karan, welcome.
100%. Thank you, Fernando. And hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Glad you could join. I see we have 91 participants joining, and that's a really good number. Okay, so I'm going to talk about something really important, something really you guys wanted to know about is our quarantine plan. So if you are a level 1 student or a returning student in a hybrid program starting in fall 2020, you will receive an email from Niagara College asking you if you're outside Canada or in Canada. This email will be sent out today, 1 p.m. Toronto time. So keep an eye on your emails. Today, 1 p.m. Toronto time. Once we receive your response, we will reach out to you all with your quarantine registration form, which will include all the details of your arrival, your airport pickup, your meal preference, and other details which will help us to make arrangement for you to self-isolate for 14 days. So once confirmed, we will send you your quarantine package, which will include your stay details, your meals details, airport pickup details, and your support letter, all in one big package. Niagara College has set up a quarantine facility at our residence at both campuses. So DJP campus, which is formerly called Niagara-on-the-Lake campus, and the Welland campus. And the cost of this plan is $775. Your quarantine plan will include your stay for 14 nights and 15 days, your safe airport pickup from Toronto Pearson Airport to the residence, 3 meals a day according to your dietary preference. You will have your own furnished room in a suite with your own bathroom and a kitchenette, with a refrigerator and a microwave and a 24/7 on-site support. So, like I said, today, 1 p.m. Toronto time, you will receive an email asking if you are in Canada or you are outside Canada. Once you receive that email, please respond back. Once we start getting our responses back, beginning the next week, we will start sending you the registration form and start confirming your stay. One more time, your quarantine package will include all the details of your meal, your stay, your airport pickup, and your supporting letters. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please put your questions in Q&A, and I'll be here for the whole time answering all these questions. And I hope to see you all this fall. Mr. Fernando, is there any questions? Anybody?
So I just want to remind all students that the quarantine is mandatory for all incoming students this fall. This was stipulated by the government of Canada, and it's very, very important that first check, as I said before, if you have on-campus classes. So if your program is fully online, then you should not come to Canada, right? That's you should stay home and study over there. But if you have on-campus classes, then you will need to adhere to the quarantine, and you need to follow instructions as Karan said. So it's very important to pay attention to that. And if you have any further questions, send your questions here down below at the Q&A, and it'll be able to help you out. Okay? So that's it, Karan?
That's it, my friend. This is our quarantine plan, and I just want to let everybody know this quarantine plan is mandatory, and all the options I said, including airport pickup, the meals, everything is all opt-in in one service, and it is a mandatory quarantine plan for all the level 1 students and returning students to follow.
Amazing, amazing. So guys, remember that you can send your questions down below at Q&A, but you can also email international@niagaracollege.ca if you have any further questions, okay? So Mr. Karan, thank you very much for your updates today. Guys, just so you know, Karan will stay here until the end of the presentation, helping us out at the chat and the Q&A, okay? So thanks, Karan, and moving forward, for this Niagara College information session. So just remember, if you arrived here late, if you don't know what's going on, so welcome. This is the Niagara College new student information session hosted today, and we're going to provide a few updates about the different areas of Niagara College International. So housing, events and engagement, immigration, so the ISA updates, and we also have the academic spotlight today from the School of Business Studies, which is, as I said, very close to my heart. But moving forward now, I'm going to invite Mrs. Natalie Boverhoff, and Natalie is going to talk to us about the events and engagement. So what's going on in Niagara College orientation? Oh my God, what do I need to do to start my orientation sessions? So this is what Natalie is going to help us out today. So hello, Natalie, how are you today?
Hello. I seem to, oh, sorry. My video was turned off. Thank you so much for welcoming, Fernando. So nice to see everybody, or at least to see 115 people are here participating. So that's fantastic. So as Fernando said, my title is the International Student Engagement Coordinator, and today we're going to talk about some updates about our pre-orientation, orientation programming, as well as our app, which will help you be connected to not only all of the international department, but the college staff, but also other new students and our volunteer students who are helping answer student questions, so our PAL mentors. So I'm just going to share screen for a second. Okay, so again, my name is Natalie Boverhoff, and I've been with the college for many years now, and my role is engagement, the International Student Engagement Coordinator. And so when you're here, we run all sorts of activities, and we're going to continue doing that, even though they'll be virtual and online, but we run different Zoom sessions, different clubs, conversation, games. We work with our student government for karaoke and bingo, live concerts with other schools. So lots of things to do, all that you can access through the computer. But today specifically, I really want to talk to you guys about orientation and our pre-orientation sessions. So our NC Ready kickoff starts on August 4th, so only about 2 weeks away now. And in this, we will have live presentations, live chats, question and answer sessions, opportunities for you guys to talk to returning students, opportunities to hear information from all the different service areas around the college, our student government. So just so much going on. And you'll start getting emails, which will have links and opportunities for all of these sessions, but also our main orientation website, which is the college website. You'll be able to see all these links. And after a session happens, so if you happen to miss something, we will have the recording of every session also posted on the website and on our app. So even if you missed something because of a time zone or you were working, you'll be able to watch that information afterwards. And then if you have questions, of course, feel free to email in or ask questions on the app. So other important dates then coming up for our remote post-secondary and graduate orientation. That will be happening on Friday, September the 4th. That's the International Day. And so on that day, of course, you'll get some important information from your international student advisor, housing and settlement. We have an immigration presentation happening. So lots of important information, but please keep in mind, it is a remote orientation. You do not come to the college. Even if you're in Canada, you will not be coming to the college. Everything will be remote. We'll be doing things through Zoom, through Blackboard Collaborate. So no need to come to the college. On Tuesday, September the 8th, that's the college-wide orientation day. So you have program information sessions, information about your co-op if that's happening, different things like that, a chance to meet your teachers. And it's a very important day as well. And then our classes start on Wednesday, September the 9th. If you're taking part in our English program, so our English for Academic Preparation, that orientation happens 2 days, the Thursday, September the 3rd, and Friday, September the 4th. Now these sessions are really important, not just because of the information that you'll get at them, but also because this is when we do our language testing, our language assessment, to be able to place you in the proper level. Our EAP program has 5 levels, and again, it's all online, and in your schedule, you'll be given certain Zoom times, certain assignment times, all of these things, but to make sure that you're in the right level, we need you to be at this orientation so that you can be assessed and placed in the correct level for that program. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is our BNC Ready app. Now we're so excited about this. The app is an excellent tool. All of our orientation information is up there, links to important websites, Q&As, staff listings, so you can check out what staff you might need to talk to about various things, but also links to live videos. Like some of you may have signed up for this session today through the app, and that's so exciting. You'll be able to watch Zoom sessions right on the app. But also it's a great engagement tool for you to be able to talk with other people. So far we have over 200 new students on the app, and it's a great way that you can chat one-on-one. You can join our activity stream and post questions or pictures or look for people who are in your program. We'll also be creating groups that you can do some group chats with students who are in similar programs to you. So the app is really great, and we're very excited about it. So to get the app, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can see this link I have here. This link is the universal link, so it will take you regardless of whether you're using an iPhone or an Android. You can follow that link. But also just by searching BNC Ready, you can pull up the app there. It is free, and so we really encourage all of our new students, all of our returning students to download the app. And again, we're very excited about it. So I just want to show you what I had mentioned here. So this is where the link will take you, and so that you can click on to either download in the App Store or on Google Play. And so that's really great. The other thing I want to show you is our app also comes with an event dashboard. So if you sign up for a Zoom session and you don't want to watch it on your phone, you could also use this link to be able to watch any session right on the app. And so you can see in our community, we've got lots of students who are already signed up for this. Okay, and you can see that we have our schedule up here. So here's today's session. So just like we did for today's session, we'll be posting some key sessions that we really think that students should sign up for, participate in. And as we move forward towards September and our pre-orientation sessions, they'll all get posted here to this schedule so you're able to know when they happen. And then if you miss them, after they happen, they'll also be archived right here on the app. So here's last week's Zoom session. So we'll make an archive of all our sessions so you can flip back through them, whether it's an academic session, whether it's a service session, whether it's a chat with returning students, our PAL mentors. But you'll be able to see all of that right here on the app. So once you have downloaded the app, then you can see all these different functions. If you're looking for, some questions, or you want to find, Karan spoke earlier, you can see that Karan is right here on the app as well, and so his contact information. So you'll be able to email and contact any of the international staff who are on the app, but also just a great way to chat and connect. So we really encourage everybody to sign up for the app and to participate in all of our pre-orientation and orientation activities. So that's it for me for today, Fernando. As we move forward into September, we'll also be using the app and our online calendar to post all of our different activities and engagement opportunities, volunteer opportunities. So we really hope to see everybody, and we hope to see everybody engaged, whether they're in Canada or anywhere else around the world.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Natalie. Just a reminder for students, it is very important that you join our BNC Ready app. And everyone has a phone right now, right? So you can go over there, click the link, connect, and you can connect with the students that are joining this fall, and you can get information about the information sessions, about orientation, the BNC Ready modules. So all of us here, the panelists, we get tons of emails, tons of questions, and trust me, most of your questions are answered here in the app. So it's easy, convenient, you can go anytime and get information over there. But remember, if you have any, see, Karan is showing there as well, I have it here as well, so we're all ready to roll. So download this, but if you have any further questions, what do you have to do? Put your questions in the Q&A down below, and our team of amazing panelists here will be able to help you. So to download the app, just search for BNC Ready in the App Store as well. Okay, you click install, download, boom, 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 nice and easy, and we'll be able to help you out. Okay, so Natalie, thanks very much. That was amazing. And moving forward, because it's already, it's almost 9. Okay, so let's move forward here. I am going to invite my dear friends from the School of Business Study. And guys, remember, now it's the time for the academic spotlight session. And what I'm going to do today is going to talk about the School of Business. So I don't know you guys, but I'm an alumni in Niagara College. I even have my mug over here. I graduated business sales and marketing at Niagara College a few years ago, and the School of Business Study is very close to my heart. I love the business programs at Niagara College. We have many students from all around the world joining us today to know more about the programs. And I have very good friends here today. So I have David Seto, which is the Associate Dean for the School of Business, and Christine Clark, so Program Coordinator for the HR Management Program. And by the way, I just need to mention that, David, I love your background. So you're enjoying vacation time today?
Friday.
It's Friday.
Yes, that's true. I'm starting my vacation, so
you are. That's right.
See, I have the falls here as a background, but I wish I had yours. Yours looks nice as well.
There you go. Yeah, thanks, Fernando. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Shetu. I'm Associate Dean of School of Business, and I'm very, very happy to be joined by also my really esteemed colleague, Dr. Christine Clark. As Fernando said, she's the coordinator of the Human Resource Management programs at the college. First off, I want to thank International team, James, and everybody for really organizing this very nice opportunity for for us to meet you in person and talk to you about the wonderful programs and the services we have in the School of Business. And we appreciate the work behind. Today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have two parts to our presentation. The first one is a very general presentation about the school. And the second portion is focused on fall, based on my feedback from International and James and his team, that you're anxious about your fall term. You want to know about what the fall term entails, and especially around online delivery, online learning, the technology, the tools we use, and the different techniques we teaching strategies and faculty members we use in their courses. So we're going to talk about those. Between Dr. Clark and myself, we're going to be back and forth. Bear with us, but would be a wonderful again opportunity for us and for you to learn about wonderful School of Business and the programs. The School of Business is one of the largest school at the college. Just to give you an idea, we get about 2,000 students just in the fall term, new students, and close to half of those students come from different parts of the world, and it's very diverse. Not only the student demographics, the programs are also very diverse. Probably one of the schools that has the strongest international oriented programs. And to some extent also the composition of the staff faculty represent also the diversity. We have colleagues from all over the world. We have again different programs that cater to different parts of the world. We have some flagship programs that attract huge international audience, but also we have programs that have blended and the different mix between domestic and international. Just to give you an idea about the programs, we have pretty much all business areas covered. We have general business programs. That's for folks who want to be generalist or who want to at least start the general and then branch into other areas. But we have also programs that focus on accounting. We have programs on human resource, programs in international business, marketing, supply chain, and we have also programs in office administration, and then either it's in the general or focused on health. We have also one of the very unique feature of our programs is the opportunity to ladder studies. And to give you an example, somebody can come in and start in 2-year program. And so 2-year program in general business or 2-year program in international business. And that student has opportunity, for example, after 1 year, even 2 year. And if the student feels that I think I can do more than that, I think I want to challenge myself more. And that student can go into a 3-year program, with a smooth transition. We have pathways developed for that without losing any credit, can continue in the 3rd year, so 3-year program, and work towards an advanced diploma. And that same student can also think, I think I'm now ready to go for the next one, like it's the next level, and I want to do bachelor degrees. And we have also pathways for students to transfer into the degree programs with some bridging and reach back programs. So basically, we are trying to support students with individualized learning through the mobility within the programs, and that offers a lot of opportunity. And each program has a different, its own unique features. Some programs, for example, are accredited, have accreditations. Many of programs have accreditation, industry accreditations. Other programs have very strong industry connections. And so some programs have embedded experiential learning programs. So there is uniqueness in many of the programs, but there are very general features in School of Business, and that's what makes the School of Business different, and that's what makes students come into our program well prepared, better prepared. As we hear from employers, usually say your students have really what it takes to succeed in our company. Your students have excelled in this or that. So we know we work hard as a team, the faculty, staff, the college support areas, international, to really provide students a holistic service. It's good programming, also great service. Again, I personally work very close with my colleagues in the international. And the students, if you have a chance to talk to students in our programs, in the business programs, one of the things they say, one of the always, or if you had a chance to look at the reviews, is the faculty and the staff. Very supportive, very committed to student success. So I'm really proud to represent the School of Business. I'm really looking forward to welcome some of you to School of Business. I want to ask my colleague, Dr. Christian Clark, to tell us about the fall delivery and how, again, in the School of Business and her own also experience. She's one of the our excellent faculty and loved by students, loved by team members, and she's very student committed and focused, and so she will tell us about how she and her team members plan to deliver courses in, for example, in human resource management in the fall. Dr. Clark?
Thank you very much, Dr. Achetu. And hopefully you all can see my screen. So I shared the PowerPoint, so we can see it, correct? You can see it at your
yes,
end? Okay,
good.
Yes, we can see
wonderful. So we were asked to kind of come here today just to give you a sense of what our academic plans are in the School of Business. And I can speak from myself and my team members, as Dr. Achetu mentioned. I'm the coordinator of the Human Resource Management Grad Certificate Program. And we are engaging in some student-centric best practices that we are encouraging across all our programs in the School of Business. So I'll talk to you a little bit about the plan, some of the approach, the technology that you might want to consider based on emails that were sent out earlier, textbook information, and as orientation was already provided, just a sense of what we're doing in the School of Business to onboard you in your respective programs. So as was mentioned earlier, as in the case of most institutions, the majority of our programs will be online this fall. For level 1 courses, the decision has been made to deliver it primarily asynchronous in our programs at the School of Business. And what that means is that there won't be a requirement to meet live during the fall. So your instructors will be placing all the materials, recordings of instructions and lesson plans, case studies, activities, enabling you, regardless of where you live and what time zone you're on, to engage in learning that meets your needs. However, based on feedback that we also got from students and faculty, we found that there was an important need to be live at certain points. So we are going to endeavor to provide a synchronous or real-time space for you to join in and talk with your faculty when you need it, have questions answered, or maybe even receive more explanation on various parts of the content. So faculty are working hard to make sure that they provide not only appropriate asynchronous material so that it's understandable, but also an opportunity to meet live with them where necessary. And for those that can't join live, it will all be recorded for your use later on. So using pre-recorded PowerPoint lessons, posting videos for you, engaging in discussion boards. We're trying to make the online environment as interactive as we can. So that's a bit of our plan for fall. And hearing, we've listened to students the last several months when we've engaged in this online environment, and we've wanted to really capture a student-centric approach. So we've got what's called kind of a community of practice in the School of Business, where we're encouraging all faculty to provide some consistent approaches in their delivery, so that when you go to the Blackboard site, it'll be clear that your modules are in weeks. Within each weekly folder, it'll identify what needs to take place that week in terms of learning. There'll be recorded slides, videos, case studies, activities, and really a way of being precise in what it is that you'll engage in that learning. We really want it to be a one-stop shop so that everything is laid out clearly for you in terms of what is the weekly objectives for the material that week. So you'll see course document folders, weekly materials, things that are laid out in a kind of simpler, linear form. That's what we're encouraging across our programs. Some of the best practices that we're encouraging amongst our faculty is really setting the tone as well. So you will often see a weekly video or an introduction to the whole term with your faculty's presence to kind of walk you through the documents, the learning management system, which is Blackboard, and I'll show you that. Providing weekly announcements every week with an indication of what to expect in the learning that week. Outlining assignments, and I'll show you a little bit of a sample that I did with my students I presented a little video and walked them through my Blackboard shell and where they could find materials and how to create that that tone of welcoming you to my course. So by posting assignments in one spot and weekly modules with materials, and then hosting live, virtual, real-time meeting or office hours where you can, come in and speak live with questions or get clarification on concepts or have further discussions with colleagues and classmates as well. So those are some best practices that we've set up amongst our team members. With respect to technology, you may have received information already, but it's really recommended that you have a desktop or laptop that meets the program-specific requirements of your program. So again, that information would have went out, but we're recommending Microsoft Windows 10, that laptop or desktop that has sufficient storage to manage any programs that you need, that you have a camera, audio, speakers that allows you to interact with others as well. And I'll show you more where we will do some recording of discussions. Also a reliable internet connection. Blackboard is your learning management platform, and you will get a good overview of that in your pre-orientation. You'll get a sense of what the tools are. So we're recommending that reliable internet connection to enable you the tools that you need. As well, the Blackboard collaborates when we do have some synchronous activities. It's right there in your learning management system. It's a video conferencing system that will support live multimodal communication. There's video capabilities, audio capabilities. You can share documents just like you're seeing in Zoom. You have that capability right in your Blackboard shell. In live sessions, you may see faculty engaging in polls and discussions. We can break you in groups, and then we can record everything for those that can't attend so that you can view it later. So it is a nice tool that's embedded right in the learning management system so that you don't have to be searching for other technologies to join in. With respect to textbooks, and DeWitt, you may want to chime in a little bit here, but we're all working with our publishers to provide some appropriate e-learning resources for you, but I'll let you chime in.
Yeah, thanks, Christine. Yes, one of the change we've made the last 2 terms, and especially last term, is because of the conversion to online. We have also migrated most of our resources to online. Because of, again, the logistics and then easiness of the e-textbook as opposed to the text hardcover textbooks. But not only that, this has been a transition over the past years, and so you might know many of the resources and have digitalized. In fact, some publishers have plans or just already migrated to smart books and others, and to support even when we were delivering face-to-face teaching. So basically, the time we used to focus on use the textbook has probably gone. There is now more resources in addition to textbooks, and the textbooks comes with a lot of support materials, whether it's flashback, whether it's simulation, practice tests, and a lot of resources and that will enhance teaching and learning. So we have capitalized on that. So come fall, you will have the flexibility to get your ebook from anywhere in the world, and faculty will advise you if you already check, for example, if you are enrolled in the courses, and you will see what we call course information sheet. In Blackboard Shell, if you go to the course information, you will see one document which details the teaching resources you will need for a course. But our advice usually is wait until faculty members give you more guidance on that, and they will share with you what we call teaching and learning plan, which is a lesson plan, similar to what Dr. Clark mentioned. It details the weekly modules and the assessment expectations and the timelines and things like that. And it also details the kind of resources you need for the course, and will give you exactly the ebook, the textbook you will need, and the accompanying resources with the ISBN number and the publisher as well. So you can reach out to the publisher. You can also, the bookstore facilitates that. You can get also those resources from the bookstore. So there will be more e-textbook utilization moving forward. Back to you, Christine.
Okay. All right. So the next thing we just wanted to, just trying to move my screen here without exiting. As mentioned earlier, there is plans for orientation, and it was mentioned earlier in the presentation, but our School of Business as well for the September 8th day is planning program-specific orientation. So while the morning will be some live broadcasts from the president and some programming information in the morning, we as well in each of the School of Business programs are scheduling a program-specific orientation where you'll see a link to join in and meet your fellow classmates and engage in some, icebreaker activities and a way of getting an overview of what the program looks like, and meet some of your faculty, and kind of start you off on a positive note and welcome you as best we can virtually to the fall term. So we're looking forward to planning that, and you'll hear more information and get links about specific program orientations for September 6th that day. or September 8th, sorry. Sorry, my mistake. Did you want to talk a little about research or?
Yeah, one of as I said earlier, is the differentiation in the School of Business is, I think Niagara College, you probably know from your research, Niagara College is focused on applied learning. That applies to School of Business also. So we want to make sure that students who graduate from our programs have the skill set to succeed in the workplace, and that they are also workplace ready early on. The way we do it is that embedding in the courses in the program some experiential learning activities that includes case studies and live case studies and guest presentations and research and applied research and projects, field studies, and all those kinds of practices. And just to give you an example, yesterday we had one last session where a group of students have been working over the last 7 weeks with industry partner, and the industry partner approached us wanting to engage students in finding a solution to its business problem. Basically, they want to introduce international beer brand into Canada. Since it involves international business, we involved international students to conduct research. And so what they did was, in a couple of the first 2 weeks, they worked on a general business analysis, and then 1 week they worked on a case study, looked at 3 international brands that succeeded in Canada and how they did it, and what the unique positioning is. And then they looked at the regulatory procedure 1 week. And then this week they worked on the logistics and prospective partners, and they presented their findings to industry partner yesterday, and he was very thrilled. And now they have to he gave some feedback and asked them a few things, and they have to put together and present them back. Human resource management program students also, they worked for local non-profit organization called Community Support Services Niagara. So basically they looked at the organizational structures, organizational setup, the organizational culture of the organization, and they conducted surveys, and they asked staff, and they talked to the CEO and then senior managers, and they come up with interesting suggestions. And we have again a lot of students involved in similar kind of industry focused project, which prepares them well for the workforce. But this is one area. But again, in most, all of them, we say in 100% of the programs in the School of Business have applied learning, have experiential learning embedded in their programs. And I really happy to announce that if you come into School of Business, and you will have the opportunity to work with your faculty in any or one or more of those experiential learning projects. Okay, I think we talked about experiential learning, applied research. Maybe Christian, can you talk about how the human resource management program, for example, the cluster of human resource management program is exemplar in terms of how they closely work with the industry. Mm-hmm. And it starts day one. Basically, they have they consider students coming to their program are considered human resource management professionals. They are expected to engage with industry. They are expected to connect with industry. They're expected to learn about the industry and work with folks. And it's again the best example of program that have a very close connection with industry is human resource management, and the coordinator is Dr. Clark. So he's a better person to talk to you about that than Dr. Clark.
We actually have as well a student association that everybody can join in the program, and it's called HR@NC, and we have guest speakers and we have industry partners that come in and share their knowledge. We have individuals volunteer for events that are going on in the HR Niagara community. We work very closely with our program advisory committee, and we reach out to these people for course-based projects. So even though we've been in a virtual environment, we've still been able to connect with an industry partner overseas, and we're working on training and development packages for them. We're working on labor relations information, so trying to connect the course material to work that the industry needs, and inviting the industry in to speak on with their expertise. So we usually have face-to-face, but last week we had our employment lawyer connection come in and come live and talk about the changes in employment law, the trends as a result of COVID. So really up-to-date information through our industry partners that we engage our students in and have them meet and engage regularly with the industry. So many of our faculty are former industry, have worked in industry as well, so they have a lot of connections with subject matter experts in the community. So
thank you.
And if you want to, just one last slide that we had was some testimonials on, well, you know, when able, we still encourage a lot of the Be World Ready and international travel within the School of Business. Really that focuses on providing that international exposure and experience and development of international competencies. One of our key cornerstones as a college is to encourage our students to be world ready as well. So just a few testimonials of programs and experiences that we've had with our students abroad. And hopefully we'll get back to that very soon again.
Yes, to add to that is basically we don't get Dr. Clark and myself started on the success of our students. We have really a lot of students. We're very proud, and again today you heard from one. Fernando is our alumni, and very proud to be hosted by one of our former students. And I know a lot of our students are very active in international as well. But again, we have really success stories, and I'm very proud about when I was a student, when I was a faculty myself, and my students. I always tell one story. It's because that story tells a lot. And this student of mine, I was teaching in international market research, and he came up with an idea of a device to basically assist senior citizens with medication. As probably you know, senior citizens have often difficulty to follow instructions and mix medications or forget medication, things like that. And then he used his own personal story in the family, and he came up with an idea, and he kept working on it, and he was so convinced, and we supported him, and you know, he graduated, and he kept the idea, working on the idea, and it took him more than 7 years, I guess, to launch it, and now his product is distributed worldwide, and he's one of the the successful students. But again, we have a lot of students who come up with product ideas. We have students who are leading companies, and we have students who have started their own business. We have students who actually graduated from Niagara College and then went on further study and came back and teaching it at Niagara College. So we have a lot of success stories, and I hope when you join us, and you will be also one of success stories in the future. And I know where we used our time, and I thank you on behalf of Dr. Clark and myself. Thank you for the opportunity, and we're looking forward to see you in virtual in September, and hopefully in physically in January. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Christine. Thank you very much, Dow. It was an amazing presentation, and I remember when I was about to join Agri College a few years ago that I didn't have this opportunity. As an international student, is amazing that we have this opportunity to see our professors face to face, but here virtually, and it's amazing. Dow, I have just one last question for you. Before we're seeing many questions in the Q&A and in the chat regarding the program statuses, if this program is online, if this program is on campus. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I was checking on the website, and all the business programs for this fall intake are fully delivered online, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So that's what I wanted to highlight to students. So if you are registered to one of our business programs this fall, so this September 2020, please remember that all the programs will be delivered fully online. So it's extremely important that you follow the advice that was given here today. So prepare. It's end of July, so you have like a little bit more than a month to prepare for your classes. So get your laptop ready, your webcam, your microphone, because it doesn't matter if the program was on campus, you'd still need this device. Right? So prepare, get everything ready, and don't panic if you don't know how to use the software, if you don't know how to use Blackboard, because that's why we have orientation for. So we're going to walk you through the process. We're going to guide you through the process. And I remember when I joined Agra, I had no idea what Blackboard was. And in a couple of days, I learned, and we have amazing staff. We have the academic areas, we have services team, we have the IT team that will help you with this. Okay, so remember, and for the other panelists, if you can help me out with this, please send the link for the program statuses in the chat, so students can join, can click there and check the programs. But remember that all business programs are to be delivered fully online for this fall, and fingers crossed for the January, we're hoping, right, to be back on campus. And please remember that we, as an Agri College, are a public post-secondary education institution, and we have to follow the directives from the provincial and federal governments. And we really wanted to have you on campus, but we have to adhere to what the government tells us to do. So this fall will be online, but fingers crossed, we'll be all back on campus in January, okay? So please keep checking online for the program updates, our website, our Facebook, our social media channels, our emails, because we'll keep sending you very important information about your program starting this fall and for the next intakes as well. So again, thank you, Christine. Thank you, David. And moving forward, I am going to invite, whoa, look at the screen. We have some very nice questions here, and these are important questions. So guys, we have a poll running that you have. First question is, do you have the BNC Ready app? And I want to see lots of yeses, and I want to see maybe a few, nah, but I'll download it. So please, if you don't have this app, download it ASAP, so as soon as possible right now, so you can prepare and get ready for the classes that are going to start in September, okay? And if you are a business student this fall, if you're registered to start one of the business programs, please let us know as well, so we can know where you're coming from and what programs you're studying. Okay, so moving forward, I'm going to invite a very good friend of mine. But before I say that, I was checking in the chat, and there's I can see that some students are providing advice for other students. And my advice to you is that pay attention to the session that's coming right now. We're going to have the International Student Advisor session, and our ISA. So we have 6 international student advisors in Agri College and NT International. And they are all immigration certified. So they really know what they're talking about, and they're going to give you the most accurate information about the status of what's going on. Can I travel to Canada? What about my study permit? all my programs are online. Oh my God. So all these questions, we are here to help you out. So please remember to talk to us, talk to someone from the NC staff, talk to one of our student advisors. And my advice is that you do not listen to the advice given by other students, but keep checking immigration, so CIC, so Immigration Canada's website, and keep checking our information sessions here, that we're working very hard to provide the most up-to-date information about Niagara College. Okay, so moving forward, as I said, finally, I'm going to invite my very good friend, Mr. Charles. Charles, are you there?
Hi, Fernando.
There
Good
he
morning.
is, a rock star. He has this beautiful big smile. He's happy. He's a newlywed. He's enjoying the love. He's enjoying the dream. And Charles is
Yes.
as just like myself, he's a former Niagara College student, and now we have the pleasure to work at Niagara College International Division. And Charles is one of our international student advisors, right? And Charles is going to talk to us today about immigration, about study permits, flights to Canada, and all these very important questions that you guys have been asking, okay? So Charles, with no further ado, all to you, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fernando. And yeah, I'm going to start. So my name is Charles Ahanonu. I am an international student advisor at the Welland campus, and I am in charge of the School of Technology and the School of Trades program. So this morning, well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. So this morning in Canada, I'm going to be talking about some immigration advice, study permit, and postgraduate work permit um, advices. So if pay attention, and if you have any question, please ask us under the Q&A. I saw so many questions already. I didn't respond to them. Hopefully, with my presentation this morning, it will answer some of your questions. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. So yeah, so this is immigration updates as of today. Everything that have changed as of today. We're just going to notify you. And like I said earlier, if you have any questions, please ask us, and we'll do our best to answer before you leave today. So you can travel to Canada if there are flights functioning from your home country to Canada and your program is running and requires you to be on campus for part of the delivery. So there are some programs that will be partially online and on campus, and there are some programs that are fully on campus, while there are some that are online. So for students that have to be in Canada to study, you may come to Canada. If your program does not run on campus, please stay home and try to study from your home country. You already have a study permit, or your study permit approval letter is issued before March 18th. So if your study permit was issued before March 18th, 2020, you may still try to enter Canada and study from within Canada. You should not make any travel plans to come to Canada until travel bans are lifted. So if you have a study permit approval letter that was approved after March 18, 2020, or have not received approval for study permits, or if your program is being delivered fully online for fall 2020, that is, you do not have to be on campus, you cannot find a flight from your home country to Canada, or your home country has travel restrictions. So like I said earlier, if your program is not going to be offered on campus, please stay at home and study. You do not want to come to Canada and then maybe get sent back home because your programs are online. All right, from IRCC, to protect Canada from the outbreak of COVID, the Prime Minister announced travel restrictions that limit travels to Canada. Until further notice, most foreign nationals cannot travel to Canada even if they have a valid visitor visa or electronic travel authorization. All right, even though you have a valid study permit currently or a valid ETA to travel to Canada, if you do not have to be in Canada, please stay at home. All right, so this is some update on study permits. We think that will be important for you to also know. So due to the travel restriction, IRCC acknowledges that study permit holders may be unable to travel to Canada and have to start or continue their program through distance learning abroad. What this is saying is, if your study permit application has been approved, you may start studying your program online from your home country. That is, if you do not have to be in Canada. The Government of Canada and IRCC are still encouraging applicants to apply to come to Canada via their website, canada.ca, even if their local consulate, so their visa offices, is closed. So you may still continue applying for your study permit to come to Canada, even if your offices are closed. On July 14, 2020, the Minister of Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship announced plans for a temporary two-stage approval process for persons applying for a study permit to study in fall 2020 and submit the application before September 15, 2020. So the temporary stages for approval or approval in principle and eligibility and admissibility. So what this means is applicants who pass the approval in principle stage, which includes showing that they have been accepted at a Canadian learning institution, have the available funds and other eligible for the study permit. I'm going to rephrase that. So what this means is, so for students that have been accepted to Niagara College or other learning institutions or designated learning institutions, and they have the available funds, and they have all the necessary documents for them to study in Canada, will be notified a first stage approval. So an email will be sent. So when you apply for your study permit, you'll be informed that you have successfully completed the first stage of the processing of the study permits. Once the approval in principle is issued, applicants can begin studying online abroad and have the time count towards their postgraduate work permit, provided that they meet other criteria and that they eventually receive full approval of their study permit. So when you get the first the approval in principle, you may start studying. That is what they are saying. I went too fast there. That's this. So an applicant will receive a final approval once they have met all the eligibility, admissibility requirements, including submitting biometrics, necessary documents such as immigration, medical exam, and the police certificate. So basically, the first approval is just if you have met all the requirements study in Canada. The final decision on your application will be made when you have provided the required documents to process your study permit. And you can find more information on the link provided at the bottom of my presentation. And again, you can reach out to us to answer any question you might have. So I'm going to be talking about postgraduate work permits. So how will studying online affect your eligibility for a postgraduate work permit in the future? So students falling into one of the following categories will remain eligible for the postgraduate work permit if at least 50% of their total program of study is completed in Canada. Applicants may have to submit additional documents from the designated learning institution confirming which part of their program was completed in Canada. So students that study permit holders who had already begun their studies in Canada but left Canada and are continuing their courses online from their home country, and applicants who have been approved for a study permit to begin a program in May or June or fall, and who will begin their program online from their home country instead of trying to travel to Canada. So what this means is students that have applied for a study permit and have been approved for a study permit, you may study from your home country. And this is usually not allowed in Canada, but due to the pandemic, they are allowing students to study from their home country, and this will count towards their postgraduate work permit eligibility. For students in Canada, if you are in class, if your in-class courses are being moved to an online-only format because of COVID-19, you are still eligible for the postgraduate work permit. If you have a study permit or you have been approved for a study permit for a program starting in the summer, spring or fall, but you cannot travel to Canada at this time due to travel restriction, you are also eligible for a postgraduate work permit. If you are outside of Canada and you have a study permit, or you have been approved or applied for a study permit for a program starting in spring, summer, fall, but can't travel to Canada due to travel restrictions, you are approved, you are eligible, you are still eligible for a postgraduate work permit. So after you have applied for your study permit at any, so after you have applied for your study permit, any time spent studying online outside Canada now counts towards your postgraduate work permit, right? So even though you cannot enter Canada at this moment, as long as your study permit is approved, you may study from home and it will still count towards your postgraduate work permit. All right. If you are in this situation, you may begin your classes while outside of Canada, complete up to 50% of your program while outside of Canada if you can't travel to Canada sooner. If you start your studies in fall, you won't have the time, you will not have the time deducted from the length of your postgraduate work permit, right? So it will not be deducted for the postgraduate work permit for studies you complete while outside of Canada between fall and December. So we at Niagara College, we strongly advise students to only begin studies after you have received an approval for your study permit, all right? Because we know there's the two-stage study permit process going on right now, that as long as you apply, you can start studying. But again, we'll like you to be safe, and would like that the time towards that the time you use studying from your home country will count towards the postgraduate work permit. So that is why we are strongly advising that you study when your study permit has been approved. So things to do or know before traveling. So know the travel restrictions in your own country. Check your airport and federal government for news updates to see if you can travel or leave your country. Current travel restrictions in Canada. Stay up to date with travel restrictions for Canada as well. And you should also know that there is a mandatory 2 weeks quarantine when you arrive in Canada. And you should please be ready. And as my colleague Karen spoke earlier, we have something already in place for you if you do not have a quarantine plan when you enter Canada. And also, since school will be starting and most of our program is going to be online, I am encouraging you to please go through our BNC Ready modules. I'm going to go through that later on towards the end of my presentation. The modules are very helpful to you. You get to learn how Niagara College works, and there are 7 essential modules that I will personally encourage you, or we encourage you to partake and understand how NC works. All right, where to go to find information? So I'm not going to be going into these links, but these links are here for you. So please stay up to date with all the informations and update with immigration. And for BNC Ready, I'm going to be, like I said earlier, I'll be going through this module. I'll be going to the website to show you what it looks like and show you the modules you should partake in. Personally, I would encourage you to do all the modules because they are very, very important. And most of the staff here have put in so much time to make sure that you have all the necessary information to be successful at Niagara College. You should also check out the Canada Service Agency, so the CBSA page, just to know what is going on and know when the border is open for you to enter Canada. So like my colleague Fernando said earlier, there are 6 international student advisors at Niagara College. 3 of them are at Niagara-on-the-Lake, which is now called the Dr. Dan Patterson Jr. Campus, and 3 are at the Welland campus. and we are all licensed immigration consultants. Again, I'm going to just rephrase what Fernando said earlier. Do not take any advice from anyone other than your NC staff or an Niagara College agent or an immigration consultant. So with that, that comes to the end of my presentation. But before I hand over, I would like to share the NC Ready page so we can look at it together and you have an idea what it looks like. So this is our BNC Ready module page. And like I said earlier, there are 7 essential modules that are highlighted, and we strongly encourage you to partake in them. And personally, because of the pandemic, I would say you should take the one about computers. I know I see a lot of questions about internet, and like Dr. Clark said earlier, Joanne, the ITS will be here next week to talk to you about technical, how to make sure you have the right equipment to be successful in your program. So with that, that is the end of my presentation. Please feel free to ask your questions. I'll be around until the end of the presentations to answer any questions you might have. Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much, Charles. Thanks for that amazing presentation. Just a quick recap for students. As we said, since the beginning of this presentation, it's very important that you do a little bit of homework. I know that your classes didn't start yet, but it's important to do a little bit of homework before you start your class in Niagara College. And for that, we recommend that you enter and you join first our social media. So you can join us on Facebook, following us Niagara College International Division. You can follow us on Instagram at NC International and at Niagara College. And you should also download the BNC Ready app, where in this app, we're going to provide the most up-to-date information. So orientation, keep checking your emails as well. So you see the most up-to-date communication from Niagara College to you. And as Charles mentioned, and as I said before, if you are scheduled to have online classes this fall, we strongly advise that you should not travel to Canada, okay? So you should stay home, stay in your home country and prepare. Get your notebook, your laptop ready, your webcam, a microphone, just like me. I have a laptop in front of me, a webcam, and I'm talking to you guys from all around the world. And don't forget that if you're having difficulties with technology or have any questions, that's why we have orientation for. So we're going to provide lots of information to you, and we're going to provide some help as well to teach you how to walk, how to guide through the programs. And we strongly advise that before starting your studies at Niagara College, you should have the study permit approved as well. So as Charles mentioned, this is very important. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of questions in the chat and the Q&A saying, oh, okay, I have online classes, but can I travel to Canada? No, you should stay in your home country for now. And as I said before, hopefully in January, we'll resume on-campus classes, and hopefully everything will go well and everyone can fly to Canada and have on-campus classes. Okay, so I'm going to invite my friends, my panelists here. So Kran, Natalie, Paul, the regional managers, so everyone that's online here. Okay, so now we have the results for the poll. Nice. So let's see here. Question number 1, do you have the BNC Ready app? So 72% of you guys said yes. That's amazing. And a few of you said no, but I'll download it. That's good. So prepare, get ready, because that's very important. And almost half of you guys are enrolled to a business program this fall, so this September, and that's amazing. Okay, so I'm happy that you guys are here following us, and we still have lots of questions in the Q&A. So Karan, if you can help, there's a few quarantine questions that I think we have to take care over here. Charles, we have a few immigration questions as well. So if my dear friends and panelists can help us finding some interesting questions so we can answer live, but all of our panelists will be here as well, typing answers to your questions as well. Okay. So let me see. Let's look for a few interesting questions over here. And we're getting lots of questions, lots of messages here thanking us for the info session. What we do is for you guys. We're trying to do everything that we can for international students all around the world, that you have the best experience ever. It's what we call here the NCDNA. We had we thrive to provide the best student service ever and support for students, and we're happy that you're joining us this fall. So please keep checking here, sending us questions, engaging with us, because we look forward to seeing you. And just got a question here. Can you tell me the name of the app again? It's BNC Ready. Okay, so go to the App Store in your phone and download it.
Perfect. I love it. The chat is blowing up. Everyone's connecting with each other. I think they already have found friends. They have made Instagram groups. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So there are a couple questions regarding quarantine and flight, Fernando. I just want to answer it out, and then I will just go in the Q&A and just state them. I'm going to answer them live. So when you do receive an email from us regarding quarantine registration, some of you may already have your flights booked, so you can fill out the registration. But if you don't have your flights booked, you don't have to fill the registration right away. Take your time, plan your travel, book your flight tickets, book your arrivals, and when you have all that information, fill out the registration. Because as part of your registration is asked for your airport pickup details, your arrival details. So we want you to fill out the whole registration form once you have all the information with you. So that should answer a bunch of questions of students who are asking if they don't have their flight already booked or not. So wait to receive the registration from us. Look at the registration form. All the questions you can answer, please answer them, but keep it safe. Do not send it to us. Once you have your arrival date and your travel booked, fill out the whole form and then submit it. And then from there, we'll confirm your residence, your meal, your airport pickup, and you will get your supporting letter with it. So the whole quarantine package will arrive in one big email.
Awesome, thanks, Karan. We have an interesting question here from Richa Patel. So Richa is asking, my course is fully online for fall 2020. So does that mean that it is my 2-year program? Will I be able to come and attend classes, or is it like a 2-year fully online? I'm so confused, Richa. You don't need to be confused, okay? We're here to help you. So if your program is fully online for this fall, it means that from September to December, which is the fall intake, you have fully online classes. But as we said before, we're hoping, and fingers crossed, that we'll be able to go back on campus for on-campus classes in January. Remember that as a public post-secondary institutions, we're following the directives from the provincial and federal governments in Canada. So, but we hope, and we're working very hard for that to be back on campus in January. So as I said, keep checking your emails or social media or the BNC Ready app, because once this is possible to go back to campus, we'll definitely let you guys know so you have enough time to prepare. So if your program is fully online now, it means that it's only fully online from September to December, okay? Charles, did you find any interesting questions in the Q&A that you'd like to answer live?
I am answering some. I had an interesting one that said, let me find it. Can I travel via private jet even if my course is online? I'm sorry, no, you cannot, even though you have a private jet. If your courses are online, please remain home and study. The only exemptions right now are for students that have classes on campus or hybrid courses. So hybrid means some of their courses are going to be on campus and the other are going to be online. So students that have in-class or on-campus courses are allowed to come to Canada, and Niagara College will be providing a letter to support those students. But if your classes are online, please remain at home. Okay?
Just like Fernando and Charles said, if these rules for traveling does relax, if the government open up the border for all the students and the campus, and you're allowed to come back on campus, just like how we are helping our hybrid student right now, we will help you to make that transition to arrive to Canada. We'll provide you all support you need.
Awesome, awesome. So it's very important that you pay attention. So first, if you're planning to study in agriculture this fall, so if you're registered already, please check your program status to see if your program is fully online or if you have hybrid classes. Hybrid means that some of your classes will be online, but some of your classes will be on campus as well. And if your program is a hybrid delivery, you must come to Canada for your classes, right? And for these specific students, we will be sending you a supporting letter, so this can help you when you're about to fly to Canada. So more information is to come, so please check your student emails, because you will find a step-by-step and all information you need in order, like if you're scheduled to have on-campus classes, you'll find all information you need in order to fly to arrange your flights to Canada. Okay. So let's keep looking for more questions, interesting questions over here. So lots of questions.
Charles,
about
there's a question. I think you can answer it. There's a student who's asking that they have a hybrid program, but can they stay in their home country and do it fully online?
Unfortunately, no. If the program is hybrid, it is done that way for a reason, because it cannot be moved online, right? So for that student, if you have to be in Canada to study that course, you will have to be, like, we'll provide you a letter to come, and you should be here for those courses. If you cannot make it this term, you can defer your program to another term. We don't want you to do that. We love you to study this term. So if your courses are hybrid, so please make plans to be here to get those courses.
Karan, we have an interesting question here from Rohit. Rohit saying, I see many questions about quarantine. I don't want to stay at the college's residence for quarantine. Can I stay at my own place?
So, Rohit, once we reach out to you via email, please send us an email back explaining us what is your quarantine plan which you have prepared. In many cases, as per the public health directive, it is very recommended that you self-isolate at a designated quarantine facility. So if you are staying with your relative, you also need to consider, if they come in contact with you, that whole family need to self-isolate for 14 days. It's not that you can just be in a room and your family can just be outside. If you come in contact with a family or a friend who you're quarantined with in the same apartment or the same house, they all have to self-isolate for 14 days. And you do know that you have to explain this to a CBSA officer, and CBSA officer has job to make that decision at the border that if they think that quarantine facility which you're going to is eligible for it or not. There are a lot of factors. If there's any vulnerable individual living in that house who may have any certain disease or any certain medical condition which is close to respiratory issues, if there's any person over the age of 65 living in that house. So there's a lot of things to consider there. If you want to reach out to us when we send you email, and if you have a detailed quarantine plan of your own, we can go over it. But please do know that Niagara College is creating a designated quarantine facilities. Very, very high priority there is your health and safety, and we can work with you. We can help you out definitely in that case.
Awesome, thank you, Karan. I found a very interesting question here as well that Charles can help us. So the question is from Queenie Vijayavlor. And the question is, I already received an approval for my study permit, and I was asked by the Canadian Embassy to send my passport for stamping my visa. I sent my passport to the Canadian Embassy before the outbreak. Since then, the Canadian Embassy here in our country is closed. I still do not have my passport. Can I start my online studies here in my home country?
Yes, she can. The study permit was approved, so yes, she can actually study while she waits for her passport to be returned back to her.
That's great. That's great. Awesome. And as I said before, we recommend that you should have a study permit approved before starting your online studies at Niagara College. Okay. So Charles, another question for you is from Jessica and Carl. If I study online from my home country, will I be eligible for a work permit?
Yeah, so like I said in my presentation, the time spent at home, like the time you use at home studying, as long as, again, we at Niagara College will advise that you have your study permit approved. So the time you spend studying from your home country will count towards a postgraduate work permit in the future. You just have to make sure that you have the right documents explaining what courses was done from your home country. And from my presentation, 50% of your courses are now allowed to be studied from outside of Canada, as long as you don't study the whole course from your home country. So to answer her question again, yes, you are allowed to study at home at this time, and in the future, when you are ready to apply for your postgraduate work permit, you will still be eligible to apply for your postgraduate work.
Thanks, Charles. Another question for you from Pushpinder. So I have on-campus classes. So my program is a hybrid program, but I want to study online in my home country. What are the consequences?
Again, the reason why all your courses cannot be put online is because the teachers cannot do that, and they need you present to study their courses. So you will not be able to study those other courses that are on campus online. If you decide to study the ones that are online and drop the courses that are on campus, that will make you part-time. I think that students should check with their advisors so they can look into the program plan and see what courses that will be dropped off from the schedule if they decide to stay home and not come to Canada. So again, for this particular student, I would strongly recommend that they reach out to their advisor so we can advise them properly.
Great,
And
thanks.
and Fernando, I'm Eric. I have also got a couple of questions, but related to health insurance. And then a student asking his program is delivery hybrid, and he's wondering during quarantine period the health insurance is covered, and then if get the symptom during quarantine period, what's they need to do? That's question.
Okay, would you like to answer that, Charles?
I didn't get the question, I'm sorry.
Garmi and the quarantine period.
Oh, are they in Canada?
Yeah, but during the quarantine period, 14 days. And
Oh,
also, yeah, if unfortunately student has a symptom of COVID-19 during 14 days, what they need to do?
All right, so again, as soon as a student comes to Canada and they'll be studying here at Niagara College, they have their government insurance already, they are under the government insurance. So I hope this doesn't happen, but if a student comes in here and they happen to have COVID, again, we strongly advise that they go through the normal procedure to make sure they are tested and get better. And if they have to pay out of pocket for the services, please go ahead and pay, but please keep your receipts. So when you are able, you can claim your insurance. And also, we also encourage you to call GuardMe and let them know what is going on so they can create a case. So in some instances, the students do not have to pay when they get to the hospital as long as GuardMe is aware. So, but in other words, students that are in Canada are covered through GuardMe, and if they happen to have the symptoms, please take care of yourself, and if you have to pay for it, and we'll guide you on how to get your money back that you used to pay for the services.
Exactly. So basically, all students that are to come here for on-campus classes should be here for the start of the classes in September, right? But you should come to Canada at least 2 weeks in advance for your quarantine period, right? So 14 days you have to be quarantined, and for that, Karan has given very accurate information about your quarantine plans, and you'll be receiving an email very soon with the information of what you have to do. So remember that GuardMe offers a grace period of 14 days. So while you're here before your classes, you are covered by GuardMe, and GuardMe will take care of you, and our team here is also available to support you if you have any questions. Okay. We have moving forward. We have a question from Marcelo Lima. I guess that his name is Marcelo Lima. But Marcelo Lima asked, I have been admitted to Niagara College this fall. However, I am still going to apply for a study visa by August. If I could not get approval by August or September, can I continue? Can I continue by this fall or start studying this fall, or do I need to defer it to January? I'll tackle this question. So our advice, as we said before, we strongly advise that all students should have a study permit approval before the start of your classes, okay? So Marcelo, if you're already admitted to your program, you should have the letter of acceptance already. And please follow the instructions in the letter of acceptance, which is to send all the admission requirement documents, to pay for your first year of studies or your first term. And if you have this, you should have all the necessary documents to submit your application for a study permit. You don't need to wait until August. You can do it right now, okay? So the study permit application is submitted online. And once you have it approved, then you can start your studies. If by any reason you don't have it approved or you're not ready to start your studies this fall, please send an email to us at international@niagaracollege.ca, and we can defer your application to the next available intake. Okay? So I guess or you can talk to your regional manager. If you're from the Americas, you can talk to me, right? Or wherever you are in the world, we'll be able to guide you on these next steps as well, okay? Let's see. Karan, well, we have a question here from Satvir. If we register first in quarantine package, then book a flight, is that okay?
I'm answering the question right now, but so as soon as you receive your quarantine package, like I said, please start looking into booking your travel plans, book your flight ticket, and once you have that, all that information, then register for your quarantine plan. Once you fill out that quarantine form, we will send you the confirmation with all the details, your support letter, your stay, meal, and your airport pickup.
Okay, we just got a question here. So if we don't get the supporting letter, then we can't book the flights. So we need supporting letter first to book the flights and register to the quarantine package. So as we said, the supporting letters will be sent to all students probably hopefully by the end of this week or next week. And you should have the documents ready, okay? So please keep checking your emails so we can help you. And if you have any questions, just send an email to international@niagaracollege.ca or housing@niagaracollege.ca, and I'll be able to help you out, okay? So guys, it's already past the time, so I'll take the last question here. But remember that we have the panelists here that are answering the questions as well. But the last question is from Gabriela. Gabriela is asking, can I start the fall intake on an implied status? I applied for a new student visa while the previous one was valid. So that's a question to you, Charles.
Sorry, I was typing. What did you ask, Sir Fernando?
Okay, no worries. Okay, so it's a question from Gabriela, the last question for the session. And she's asking, can I start the fall intake on implied status, or applied for a new study visa while the previous one was valid?
Oh yeah, definitely. As long as you had a study permit previously and you are just applying for an extension right now to continue your studies, yes, you can continue studying. You may stop if the decision came back and it was denied, and you stop. But if it is approved, you can continue. Yes, you can study while she waits for a decision to be made on her application.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So we've been here for over an hour and a half now. So let's wrap it up for today. So guys, thank you very much. Thank you for all the students from all around the world that joined us for this Niagara College new student information session. And thanks for all the panelists, my friends that have been helping students during this session. We had amazing panelists here today talking about housing, the quarantine plans, about orientation, activities and engagement. We had an amazing academic session by the School of Business. We had an amazing immigration session by our my friend Charles over here, and we had this Q&A session. But if you still have questions and you want to continue talking to us, download the BNC Ready app and send your questions over there. We have our team is available in the app. We'll be answering your questions over there. And remember, the next Friday, we will have another information session, and I'll be here with you guys again, answering questions. We'll be talking about the quarantine plans and trying to give you as much information as you can so you can be prepared to start your classes this fall. Okay, so come back next week. Talk to us in the chat, in our website, in the BNC Ready app, and that's it for today. So thank you very much, my friends, Paul, Karan, Charles, everyone that's still here. Thank you very much for your help. And we're all expecting you next week, next Friday, which is 8:30 a.m. Canadian time. But I don't know where you are in the world, but we're looking forward to see you. Okay? So that's it. Take care. Stay safe. And see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.